Hey, Cubs fans, and welcome to a brand new edition of Cubs on Tap. I am Luce. Unfortunately, Juice and I, hello, Juice, first off.
How we doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm good. But Juice and I are here to talk about, unfortunately, a very disappointing loss for the Cubs tonight. So the Cubs lose to the Nationals 4-3. It felt like they were going to mount a little bit of a comeback, the game being 4-1 at any given point. Cubs get two, make it interesting, but unfortunately, some bad luck here and there, and you got your 4-3 loss. So Juice, I'm going to turn it over to you right away, my man. Initial feelings after this one.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of the ones during the year that you don't feel as bad about, though. Just based on who pitched on the other side. Obviously, a great starter, Max Scherzer, throwing tonight. And with all that said, the Cubs had a chance, and they drew him off in the fifth inning, which I think it speaks volumes to their approach at the plate lately. I mean, they had 4 walks and pieced together 5 hits against him until, he was eventually pulled. And, it hurts because obviously when you have a performance against a starter like that, you hope to capitalize and put a tally in the win column. But with that said, if they can continue this plate approach, I feel like this is a recipe for success down the line in a lot of ways. It'll be good to see them, be more patient. And, it sucks because you want to see them win every night. But with that said, there is another team on the other side in the visitors' dugout with, a 3-time Cy Young Award winner. So just tip your cap to it, and props to them for fighting all the way to the end. The ring up on Nico Horner seems so much bigger in the 9th after Javi homers because it's, maybe he, pokes something through the infield or works a walk, and, Javi's home run ends up being a tire, and then you're looking at we're probably watching extra innings right now. But with that said, clean game. Jake didn't have his best stuff, but I thought he battled. And then, they had chances to take the lead or to tie this one up, and it just didn't break their way. So sad to see a loss, but with that said, I think there's a lot of good to pull out of this one too.
Absolutely, and I totally agree with you. But first, let's go. Hello, Joey. How are you, sir? He says, ugh. What's up, guys? Cody ruined it by not taking his girlfriend. Unfortunately, He is right.
Yeah, I think we're overstating Cody's luck factor, and I think it's just his girlfriend, right? I think
right.
She's just lucky. It's her. We need to just start a GoFundMe for her to go to all the games.
Yeah, I mean, she was also, Cody tells us that, she was at the David Bodie walk-off against the Nats for the ultimate Grand Slam.
What are we doing here then, boys?
I know. Hey, Cody. Sorry, pimp. You can only go if it's with Cassidy. I hate to break it to you, pimp. That's what you got to do. So, no, that is kind of funny how that works out. But unfortunately, our guys Tommy Long and Cody Del Mendo did experience the loss because, as we mentioned, things look good early for the Cubs. Horner singled on a line drive, and at that time that scored Bodie. Unfortunately, Sogard thrown out at home because, if he could be any slower, he would look like me. And but it was what it was, 1-0. But in the top of the third, Jake got into a little bit of trouble. A Trey Turner single scored Victor Robles, who had a double right before that, and then a wild pitch scored Turner to get it to 2-1. Top of the fourth, Robles just keeping it going. His single makes it 3-1, and then Juan Soto. Dude, did you see this home run?
Yeah,
that thing was a screamer. He goes down to one knee. It's like for all the NHL fans out there that have ever seen Steven Stamkos just clap a slap shot and drop to that knee, or like Ovi does it a lot too. Like
Rizzo does that pretty often too. Where
yes,
he's trying to get the low pitch and
if he tries to bend it around the foul pole, like holy shit, Juan Soto sent that thing so hard into the scoreboard. That is the second hardest ball in some capacity I've ever seen hit at Wrigley, whether on TV or in person. And the first one was the Schwarber Budweiser top of the scoreboard.
Yeah, you gotta throw Glen Allen Hill onto the rooftop across the way.
And honestly, and yes, that won 100%. And then Pete Alonso's home run when they played the Mets a couple of weeks back.
Yeah,
I was at that game. I've never seen a ball travel that far in my life.
And that fast, right?
It was
that's
unbelievable.
That's like crack, and that's already, across the way.
Dude, the strength of some of these guys is absolutely mind-boggling. But in the bottom of the fifth, the Cubs made it interesting. Ian Happ singled the center. Robles kind of screwed up his ankle earlier, rounding first. So he maybe makes this play if he's not hurting, but unfortunately he's too slow. Adbert scores on the play as he came in to pinch run, for Jake Arrieta, who got a single in his last at-bat. Ross trying to preserve the bench, and it kind of worked out for him, and we'll touch on that here in a second. But Jock, who was on base as well, he got to third. Chris Bryant got to second with Ian Happ. So they had the bases loaded, but unfortunately can't add. The one thing they did do, though, is they drove up Max Scherzer's pitch count, and they got him out of the game after the fifth inning. So that was helpful. Well, not really, because let's be honest, they only scored one more run. In the bottom of the ninth, after Javi came in, he and Willie had the excellent pitch and catch to get the runner at second, which was Soto. And then Javi hits a moonshot into the night to at least make this thing interesting. But like I said, the Cubs can't get the job done. And that's where we are. That's where we land here on this Wednesday night. And our buddy Joey back at it again. Playing an on-tap game and see what kind of luck that brings. I like that idea. Cody and I are 0-1 at a game together. Sorry, Cody. It might truly be me and you. But I've seen them win, I think, every other Cubs game, though, that I've been to. And
I'm 0-1 myself.
Okay, I'm 2-1. I'm 2-1. So
yeah, it's I'm down for that. I'll say that I've seen a lot of good games, seen a lot of good home openers. Wrigley tends to price myself out come July, so we'll have to make that happen pretty soon. Just because how those bleacher tickets look, come the summer months, they're a little rough, and especially with all the pent up demand. But I'm in, man. Let's go. We'll 120 game at noon sounds like, or 120 game on a Saturday. Sorry, not at noon. 120 game on a Saturday sounds good to me. Let's go.
Hell yeah. I mean, if we could really pull it off and make it a Friday, because that just hits differently. But you never know. Saturdays are still pretty good too.
They're for the boys too, from what I heard. So
yeah, we hear. But Juice, I mean, this one was kind of wild. Arrieta kind of got knocked around a little bit. I mean, he didn't look atrocious, but he didn't look great either. But Nance coming in looking great yet again. Brothers gets out of that jam that he created for himself in his 2/3 innings of work. Tepera had an inning. Maples had an inning. So the pitching, again, was pretty good all around in the bullpen, at least, and then the starters struggled again. So it's the same narrative. And Juice, I mean, from the words of our friend, truly, Cody on tap, let Keegan Thompson try to pitch every fifth day, because right now it feels like a better option than some of the guys they currently have in the rotation.
Yeah, I could see it. I think, just going back to the bullpen, there's a lot of guys that I think are going to find themselves without a job, considering that there's just so many high leverage arms that seem to be working out lately. You're really looking at a deep part of the team that I think, for a while was kind of the Achilles heel, post 2016. They really struggled to find guys that they trusted. And now it seems like David Ross has, 5 or 6 guys that he can kind of turn to as they play and they get deeper into the game, depending on situations. But with that said, yeah, I think another bad start by Trevor Williams, and that's totally in the conversation, right? I mean, if you're looking at, I know Alec Mills is hurt, but he's, he had a good 2022. So, I mean, it's that's an option. But with that said, I mean, he's only on a 1-year deal, and that's Trevor Williams. So it's no skin off the Cubs' back if it doesn't work out. It's a prove it deal. It's not a big, it's not a blow to the organization if he doesn't work out. But yeah, I'm for it. If it means that they're winning more baseball games or the starters are going deeper, because, we talked about this on the show on Monday that, these starters got to start going a little deeper into games, because while we talk about how great the bullpen's been, it's early on in the season and they've pitched a lot of innings already. And I know they keep just pulling rabbits out of the hat with more and more guys from, the minor league system or guys that they've just picked up. But I mean, come on, man, like this starting rotation need to be better. And I think like it just shows in a game like tonight, because going into it, there's next to no room to air when you're going against a guy like Max Scherzer, and to fall back, 4-1, and the Nationals bullpen itself is pretty solid as well, is you're asking for a lot. And that's why I think that, from the offensive side of tonight, there's not much for me to complain about, because they were kind of put in a spot where they're trying to come back against a pretty deep, bullpen and a really solid starter, a guy who's a Cy Young Award winner, like I said earlier. So, I think the Achilles heel and a lot of it too has been the early innings for the starters. Do you not? I mean, Kyle Hendricks, when he was going bad, it seemed like every first inning was like he was getting beat up early, and the same with Davies. And I think kind of the same in the recent passes gone true to Jake too. Really early on in ball games, it seems like before he can get settled in, they, are kind of jumping him. But that's like a mantra for baseball, right? If you're make sure you get to the starter early, and that way, you get them uncomfortable. But with that said, I think the offense looked good tonight. I'm for some mix up in the rotation, because if this keeps going the way it's going, the bullpen will be dead by mid July. We'll be talking about how these guys are really struggling because they've pitched too much. So let's see. And he's a young kid, so I mean, if we're really truly looking for the future, see what the kid's got.
Yeah, I like Keegan Thompson. I'm on the Keegan Thompson fan club train. Very, very happy about him. I know Cody's very big on Justin Steele as well. Just these two guys are fun to watch. It makes you excited about what some of that future is. Juice, you and I had an episode that one night where we joked about, watching this game in two phases, the 2021 Cubs and the future Cubs, and trying to find a happy balance between the two of them. Tonight's game kind of had, or like some of these games lately, have had that feel with guys like Keegan Thompson and Justin Steele coming in big moments now and shutting the door. Just as quality pitchers that can come out of the pen right now and potentially could be starters someday. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, man, I agree with you though about the offense. I think you said it perfectly. I'm not terribly displeased. They got Scherzer out of the game in 5 innings. They did enough damage to the bullpen to at least make it interesting. I mean, you could argue, no bad call on the Nico Horner, or questionable call. I won't say it's a bad call, because I guess it could go either way, but you get it. So, if that he's on base, maybe it's totally different.
There's only one gripe you can really kind of give the offense tonight, and it's the fact that they had bases loaded with one out, with Scherzer on the ropes, and they couldn't deliver the knockout blow. But with that said, the guy who's pitching on the other side is really, really good. So, I mean, sometimes you load them up and you're unable to, kind of manufacture it. I know that those get Cody's arm hair erect, and there just weren't enough of them tonight, which, hey, sometimes the ball just doesn't roll your way. And I feel like tonight was just one of those nights for the Cubs.
Yeah, it really did feel that way, unfortunately, because this one little thing here, one little thing there. And I know every game you could make that argument with, but it felt smaller tonight, just very minuscule things versus bigger picture. Oh, well, if they were better with runners in scoring position, well, yeah, no shit. If they had, if they leave 23 guys on, you would hope they would play at least 3-4 of them, for Christ's sake. I mean, you should expect more, but it is what it is. So, it's really interesting, but they continue to get the job done. They're the best offense in baseball since April 17th. Tonight might have slightly affected that number a little bit in runs per game, but I don't think enough to get it out of first place. And if they are, they're still number 2 to literally the team on the other side of town, because both offenses are just – Chicago's just leading the way. What do you expect?
I think I think this approach is what will win them more baseball games rather than not. And that's, I hope that they can take that approach going on to each game, no matter who the starter is. I know it's a little easier to do that when you have a guy like Max out there, so your at bats are more precious, than if the fifth guy on Miami Marlins are pitching, But with that said, it's tough game to lose today, but I think that it doesn't feel as bad if they go out and win tomorrow. You know, if they go out and take 3 out of 4, hey, that's all you can ask for, win series. But if they lose tomorrow, tonight will feel a little bit worse, right? It'll feel like they, kind of left, especially if they get blown out tomorrow for some godforsaken reason.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't feel bad now because you know that they play tomorrow and they have a chance to, take 3 out of 4, but it'll hurt more tomorrow if they don't win.
Yeah, it's literally 14 hours from now. They're right back at it again. I know myself, I will be in a moving vehicle during the game, so that's neither here nor there. I'm sure people will hear me banter about it on Twitter at some point in the afternoon. But yeah, man, it's one of those ones where, like you said, that describes it perfectly. Like, hey, they had a chance. They come back tomorrow. If they win, you feel a lot better about it. But if, like you said, they get just smacked tomorrow, you're like, well, shit, because now the Cardinals are on the schedule this weekend.
Yep.
And we still got to talk to Alexa about her experience in St. Louis.
We do. She's not back yet. I don't know what the hell she's doing down there if she's being held against her will. But
maybe she's staying. Maybe she's staying for the first Cubs game on Friday and then driving back.
God, I hope not.
Be back in time for the Sunday show.
I hope that she's down there for less than another 20 minutes, and then she's on her way back because it's been too long since we've heard from our friend Alexa.
Yeah,
and I'm starting to worry about her. It's
understandable. I would be too, but no, absolutely. I think they need tomorrow's game. It'll give them a lot of good momentum going into the weekend for sure. But again, outside of that, man, I'm trying to find great things to talk. Nico Horner continues to impress. Chris Bryant continuing to be audition himself to be an MVP or be a very wealthy paid free agent by some other team. I hope it's the Cubs. I really do. I want him in Chicago. I want number 17. I would rather number 17 in terms of longevity because I think he's got him beat, but it better be Chris Bryant and not Mark Grace.
Just duel it, right? Just dual retire both for both of them. But
KD's got to stick around.
I'm a big Mark Grace guy, even though he's kind of a dirtbag in post baseball career. But yeah, I actually they were lucky, and Boog said it on or JD said it on the telecast. They were lucky that he didn't square that ball up. He hit it really hard, but didn't get under it because that ball's hammered in the 9th inning. Yeah. And the game's tied. Like we said, we're probably still watching extras if he gets that ball in the air because that was one of the harder hit balls of the night, minus Juan Soto's one knee just massacre. But yeah, no, I think tomorrow it'll be interesting to see who's in the lineup and. If Rizzo's back, if Jason Hayward is okay again, that's the other part of this that I think that we didn't touch on. It's the fact that injuries right now are, people are players are coming back, but slowly there's some rickety things going on, right? They didn't have the deepest bench tonight because of Rizzo's back, and then they had to. Take J-Hay out as well and work some things around. But we'll see. It'll be all right. We'll make it. Hopefully they win tomorrow.
Yeah, a win tomorrow cures a lot of sins of today. I think that's just a really easy way to look at it. So, Juice, do you have a final thought for me, or would you like to move forward?
No, I just move on. Like you said, you got another game in 14 hours. No more Max Scherzer on the mound tomorrow, so get out to a quick start and take 3 out of 4, and then take some momentum into St. Louis. Right? That's the key for tomorrow.
Yeah, that's absolutely the goal, especially because you have the extra time because it is a Friday night game, so you get that extra, more or less 6 hours kind of tacked on, 7 hours tacked on to when you would normally be playing a game. So, I'm really excited. About tomorrow's game. A win really would make make my weekend a little better, and especially a big win on Friday night would really just send us into the weekend. Just woo! And it would be a good time. But, and also before we get to the next game, can't forget PJ Higgins getting to make his debut today. Major league debuts are cool and tough around here at On Tap Sportsnet. So really, really, really happy for him. Didn't do anything offensively, but played a decent first base when they had to move around, and Jay Hay tweaked his, I believe it was his oblique or hamstring, one of the two. And so KB has to go out to right, and Higgins comes in at first. So, and because Rizzo's back is still bothering him, so the injury bug seemingly striking again in this one. So that is a very long-winded last thought for you. But there was a lot of things I wanted to quickly bring up before we go ahead and move forward. But let's go ahead and do such thing because, as you said, Juice, a win in tomorrow's game gives us a lot of hope and faith going into the Cardinals series. So let's get excited about it right now because the Washington Nationals are visiting the Cubs for their last game of the series on Thursday. It is a 1:20 first pitch. You cannot beat those here in the city of Chicago, especially in the summertime, and we are inching closer to summer. It is at beautiful Wrigley Field, and we will be able to hear the game on the usual suspects, Cubs fans, WRTO 1200, 670 The Score, Marquee Sports Network, and for those in the Nationals markets, 106.7 The Fan, and MASN MLB Network for those that are out of market. So if you are out of market, enjoy this one. This should be a good game. Maybe more so for offense than for pitching because the Nationals will be trotting out Joe Ross tomorrow, the brother of former Major Leaguer Tyson Ross. He's 2-3 on the year with a 5.80 ERA and 33 Ks. As for Trevor Williams, he is 2-2 on the season for the Cubs, 6.27 ERA and 37 Ks. So neither one of these guys exactly blown you away with their numbers, but hey, we've seen moments of brilliance from Trevor Williams. Throughout his career, we've seen the same from Joe Ross. So, Juice, hit me with what you're expecting from tomorrow's game. Maybe a little preview, a little sneak peek, a prediction perhaps, and a fly the W player as well.
Yeah, I think Trevor Williams, while I don't have the road and home splits in front, I do remember him having most of his better starts at home. So let's hope that trend kind of comes back or, pops its ugly or its beautiful head, not ugly head, because it's great when he comes out and is able to throw deep in the games because they need it, because they keep, like we said earlier, they keep on these starters are just unable to get past the sixth inning, and that's, like I said, we need these starters to go deeper. I will say this, I hope that they get ahead early. Let's have another boring win. Me and you love talking boring wins the next day.
They're the best.
And been a lot of one-run games lately. So I'm hoping the Cubs are able to get an early lead and then just kind of cruise on it. And let's hope that, Williams can put together a solid 5 innings, because that's, at this point, I think we'd be happy with that, even though I'll be pushing for more than that, considering, the bullpen usage. And heading into St. Louis, you want everybody not fully rested, but, ready to go against your division rival, especially a team that is in first place right now that you can possibly, catch up with and gain some games back. So that's my hope. I bring the bats. Hopefully this is one of those, like, in college football when Bama plays their first, game of the season, and it's like, Sisters of the Poor college plays them.
Austin P in Tennessee.
Yeah, but they donate like a couple $1 million to build their, building, and then that's they're like, yeah, we'll play in football, but at the end of it, the starters they've been sitting for 3 quarters, and hopefully this is one of those. The Cubs just go out and win like 10-1. That'd be nice, right? Like
be lovely.
A little like tune-up before you go in and play the Cardinals. I think that would really up the confidence, and be nice to see the Cubs, bring the bats after, not a rough night, but, lower end on the scoring spectrum. So
for sure,
get back to, scoring. I think it was 5 or 6 runs a game that they've been averaging, right? That's around there.
Yeah. It's like 5.68 or something like that.
So hopefully they, score 6-7 runs, and I feel like you got a good chance to win tomorrow. But tune-up game would be sweet. Even like a 13-1 would be nice to. Let's get a stat patter, as they call it sometimes. So
now you're getting greedy. You're getting greedy.
I am. But you know what? After Max Scherzer being on the mound, I'm expecting locked in at bats, because if they can look that patient and that confident with that guy on the mound, there's no reason Jim Ross or Joe Ross, I don't even know what his name is, David Ross, whatever Ross is being trotted out there, let's hit him around.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. It's going to be a good game.
Fly the W player of the game. Got to take KB. Guy is like on fire. Every single at bat just seems to be well put, professional at bats, and I'm thinking he probably goes yard tomorrow. Gonna call it. I don't usually call these, but when I do, Ron, they usually go yard.
They do. That was creepy as hell, because we did Sunday's show. For those that maybe don't know, we did Sunday's show, and then Monday's recap, we literally regurgitated what Juice predicted. It was terrifying. Like, you nailed the Kyle Schwarber home run in the debut, and like ultimately not mattering, not in the same way, but similar, and like just so many things fell into line, and it was so good.
Javi Baez took Lester yard. That was my
that was my
other.
He was your fly the W pick.
Yeah, and I think I said that John wouldn't. I think he said he would be chased early, but he battled through it. But
hung around a little bit.
He hung around a little bit, but if he didn't, the Nationals probably had a better chance to win that baseball game. So thank God that he did. No offense to John. No, this is his return to Wrigley Field, and hopefully Chris Bryant, another one, goes yard tomorrow, and it would be nice to put a W before heading to St. Louis.
Yeah, man, I'm right there with you. That'll be huge. I really don't have much else to add to that, man. I think you nailed it. I want a boring game. I want to feel confident going into the evening. It'll be a great Cubs post-game show if that's the case. No matter who it is that's on, I'm actually not sure who our panelists will be for tomorrow. I know I will not be one, so little rotation here. Probably Cody, maybe Juice. I don't know what you have going on, Juice, but
unfortunately, I will not be on tomorrow. I am heading back to Chicago.
Oh, well, there you go. So it'll be Cody and insert name here. As of now, we will get that squared away. You will know before the post game goes live tomorrow after the game. Hopefully, it's in the daytime. Otherwise, it might be in the evening. Who knows? But a little flexibility there because of the early game. So we will be on target. Hopefully, to be right after the game, and hopefully you join in with us as you're ending your work day, and it's kind of officially the weekend, because let's be honest, for those that used to have a corporate job or still do have a corporate job, me being one of the used tos, Thursday was like the start of your weekend. Friday was a very easy day, and you just rolled right into Saturday. So you enjoy it, because we want to send you into the weekend the right way, especially if you're off on Friday. Maybe you just took a random day off. We'll send you some virtual high fives and tell you to enjoy your weekend. So yeah, Juice, big win tomorrow, and we roll right into St. Louis. My fly the W pick, I'm going to go with Nico Horner. I think he just continues to put together, a lot of people have been picking him in our, other Cubs on Tap contributors that have been picking, some of our listeners and followers that have been picking as well. He's been a popular choice, and I think I'm going to ride some of that hot hand. I've gone KB a lot this season, and rightfully so. He's been absolutely dominant and just sensational this season. But I really like Nico Horner. I'm excited he's back and healthy, and I think he has a really nice day tomorrow. Some day baseball will bring it out of the West Coast kid. It'll be good stuff. I'm really pumped for Nico, and like you said, hopefully he has a good day, and that translates to a Cubs win.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like that pick. I think he's swinging a nice bat lately, doing a lot of it with the glove, as we saw. I think that was Monday night, correct? Yeah, with the diving save there with bases loaded. But I like that pick. I think both of our guys should have solid days tomorrow. Yeah,
I'm right there with you. I really am. And, hey, if we're both saying, hey, I did a good pick with the fly the W, then that's when it's a really good game for our beloved Cubs. Well, Juice, I do want to remind everybody that Cubs on Tap is the official Cubs podcast of the On Tap Sports Network. You can check out all of our great literary and podcasting works over at www.ontapsportsnet.com and at ontapsportsnet on social media. We have not only great Cubs coverage, we have Bears, we have Bulls, we have Blackhawks. And yeah, let's be honest, Cubs fans, y'all got a friend that's a White Sox fan. I have a lot of them. We have pretty good, damn good coverage for them too. So go ahead and check them out as well. And we have plenty of other sports. If you're a big soccer fan, that's getting off the ground, as well as many other things. Golf, which Juice speaks to quite often. I am actually hoping to resurrect my golf game on Friday morning. So I will let you know how that goes, sir.
Major weekend too, PGA Championship.
Yeah, so, there you go. So golf fans.
Plenty of good sports this weekend. You got the Cardinals and the Cubs. You got the PGA Championship. I think the NBA play-in games are also this weekend. Yeah. I think they're going on right now as well. Yeah, a lot of good. So it might be a good weekend to bring the TV outside.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Have a couple beers.
Yeah, pull the TV outside, have some friends over. Be safe about it and everything. Grill a little bit. But bring your laptop out and join in with us here at OnTap Sports Network. Once again, find us on the interwebs, www.ontapsportsnet.com and at OnTapSportsNet on social media. You can follow these pod-specific accounts at Cubbies, that's Cubbies on tap. That is both Twitter and Instagram. I am at Luce on tap on Twitter. Juice is at Juice on tap on Twitter. And the OnTap Sports Network, baby. Check out what's on tap in Chicago sports. So, Juice, this was fun, man. Despite the loss, this is always a good time. We get to talk some Cubs baseball. It's going to be a fun weekend. It really is. Big series with the Cardinals, and then a little foreshadowing taking us all the way out into Memorial Day weekend, which I know people get very excited for. Kind of the unofficial, official start of summer for many people, really around the country and especially in the Chicagoland area. And yeah, man, a lot of good baseball. Off day Monday. Hopefully you crush the Pittsburgh Pirates in Pittsburgh, and then you roll in with the Cincinnati Reds. Nick Castellanos returns to Wrigley. He's going to just break my heart all weekend long. Thankfully, I'm at a bachelor party that weekend, but he's just going to break my heart. I'm going to get the notification, ding, Nicholas Castellanos has hit a 3-run home run. And, oh, no, stop it.
Cubs win 8-3.
Yeah, he'll be the only offense, but I'll still feel bad because he should still be a Chicago Cub, especially when the DH comes to the NL inevitably. So,
well, trade deadline's coming, buddy.
Hey, I said that the other day. I was like trying to speak it into existence with Cody. I'm like, hey, I was like, I'll tell you what, this trade deadline is going to look really good when they trade for Nicholas Castellanos and bring him back because the Reds are just so far gone out of the chase they can afford to get rid of that money, and the Cubs are going to be like, we're okay because after this year we can pay for him. He's going to DH and play a very average left field, and he's just going to hit moonshots, and he's going to have a top 4 NL OPS like him and Chris Bryant do right now. And he looks great.
World Series, and everybody will be happy.
And then Ron Luce will just – I could probably die happy at that point. We're getting to that level of Cubs fandom here.
Well,
it's like a great book that you're writing, and you have to end it at some point, like – maybe not necessarily life, but at least like, hey, take a break from Cubs fandom for a little bit. You rode the roller coaster. You got to catch up with the memory of it and the adrenaline rush from all of it, all the great things that happened. So take a break from it.
One step at a time, though, buddy. Let's win tomorrow.
Yeah, and then I'm going to focus. Then I'm going to focus on a Chicago Bears championship with Justin Fields at quarterback. And I know the Bears on Tap guys agree with me, and I encourage you guys to go check them out as well. Oh man, that's like another storybook end for a little bit. You got to put the bookmark in it and pause for a little bit and go try something else before you get to the end of it. So it'll be good. But well, Juice, I think we should get out of here the only way we know how to, man. And it'll be a great weekend of baseball. And we'll be back on the mic variously throughout the weekend. And let's get out of here, man. Let's go Cubbies.
Let's go Cubbies.